Hey guys, so we're starting the new week with a new topic, and this time we will be drawing the sea. So, yay, it's one of my favorite things to actually draw, and I found this photo on Pixabay, which is full of light, full of water. Let's start. This is ingres paper, and this is kind of light ivory beige color, and I'm gonna be using that. It's small, I think it's half of A4, the size. This is my working area. And this one here is the place where I will be selecting the colors that we will need for our drawing. As usual, you can find the reference photo on my Patreon and many other videos on my Patreon that are not available here on YouTube. That is like real-time videos, tutorials, and so on. And also this week I'm running this special offer of video critiques for anyone who joins. So yeah, check that out. But now let's go back to our sea. So I'm gonna choose my colors. The first thing that I need to do is choose the sky colors. For the sky, I'm using my favorite blue. So the mix of these two. I'm gonna take a dish and put my pastels on the dish. So the mix of these two. And for the lightest area, a blue-gray towards the bottom. And it gets warmer as usual. We have a warmer color at the bottom. And there I'm gonna add some of my pinkier tones. So let's see this one. So this is gonna work great. So this is gonna give us that range of color. And I don't know if you can see it clearly on camera. It doesn't show me the correct color, I think. But let's hope that you can see it good. So this is a pink color. Next, we need the colors for our sea. So I'm taking my darkest blue. And this is actually a unison blue. I love it. It's like the darkest blue that I have. Also, Sennelier blues are very nice, the dark ones. Then we're going through these darkest blues. We're going into these lighter colors. So I'm gonna go through this kind of grayed out blue. Ooh, I have the wind blowing. I have the curtains, I'll show you. The curtains are attacking me. So I hope that it's gonna stop. It's very hot here. It's like 30 degrees and yeah, I can't stay without the open windows. And then we're gonna go into our more green blues. So something like so. But we need something in between these two colors. So I'm gonna take this darker color to kind of create that gradient. Next, we need to go into our light colors. And maybe we can even use the color of the sky here. Yes, the color of the sky will do. And next, we need those very, very light colors. So I have this here, light blue. And we need something even brighter and yellower for those highlights, and also maybe even a brighter color. Let's see. So let's see this one. No, this is too dark. This is the very lightest blue that I have, so it's almost white. This one is gonna work for our highlights on the water, and then we need that sunlight. I'm gonna try, yeah, this color here is very nice. So it's warm and at the same time, and then I'm gonna add to it something just a bit darker to kind of create those bits of light. Okay, I'm gonna clean my hands. So this is our palette for today. As you see, not a lot of colors. And let's start. So I'm just gonna fix the camera so that you can see the area where I'm working. Sorry for the moving of the camera. Okay, so we almost got it. Yes. So now what do we do first? We need our horizon line, and I'm gonna put my horizon approximately 2/3 from the bottom. So this is gonna be my horizon, and I'm checking that it's straight. If you remember, I showed you how to check your straight lines. I'm gonna take a color shaper here. So from a line that is straight, that you're sure is straight, so let's check this line if it's straight, which is, and from this line I need to make sure that this line is straight. It's a bit off, just slightly, just a bit lower, like so. So this way I have my horizon even, and I'm not risking of having a tilted sea. So let's start with our sky. So I'm going in with my sky colors, and I'm going to add this darker, cooler blue. Okay, and mix it in together with this warmer blue to kind of create that like beautiful sky color. Lower, I'm going with my lighter blues, the very light blue for the sky. And now we can blend it, and then we will add some pinks and like yellowish colors as well into that sky. So I'm starting to blend from my lightest color, and here you need a really gradual kind of switch from one color into the other. If we need, we can pass the second time over our sky to create, like, to saturate the pores of the paper. So it has to be even. Again, I'm going over here with this warm blue. Really like this color for the sky. I think it's a Rembrandt that I have. It's one of their, or maybe it's a Sennelier. Not sure now. Okay, and then here at the bottom I'm adding this lighter blue. And at the very bottom I'm adding the pink. Don't be scared, it's gonna mix in with our blue, and it's gonna create that beautiful warm color right at the horizon. Okay, so this is very nice. I'm just gonna add a bit of this cooler color into my sky just to kind of marry it better with the sea. Okay, so you can see how nice this kind of glow at the horizon looks. I wanted to say another thing to those of you who are watching my videos. Usually I'm adding captions now, so the subtitles for the videos, and sometimes I don't know how the YouTube subtitle thing works, the auto subtitle thing, that sometimes it hears me really bad. And I don't know, maybe my English is so bad, but sometimes it just hears swear words in my videos. That was doing the captions yesterday for one of the videos that I posted recently, and it was actually very funny because there were like seriously bad swear words in there. So had to correct that, otherwise it seemed as if I'm swearing in my videos a lot. So I'm just creating that gradual kind of switch from darker sky into our warm horizon. And you can see how cool it is when you have that tape. I already showed it in my other videos. You don't have to worry about the straight edges or straight lines. So here it's very important to get that sky gradually lighter towards the bottom. And just a bit maybe this darker color just to create that more contrasting gradation. Okay, so now I'm happy with my sky. Maybe here on the edges I need a bit of this lighter color because somehow it seems as if it's curling away from us, the sky. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Just fixing those edges. You can also work with this as a kind of a sketch, a study sketch, and not to pull it all the way towards the edges. So you can leave the edges kind of blend into the paper. Okay, so now that we have the sky, we can take off the tape. And here we have, ta-da, a very, very even line. So this is what I like with using the tape. So now I'm taking my, I'm squinting at my image and I see that we have a darker bit far back here. It's like a layered cake. Again, we're looking at that layered cake. We have darker, lighter, darker, like very dark. So here, it's going to be the darkest, closest to us. So I'm using this dark blue, the grayish blue at the back. So I'm gonna start adding it. And remember, the C is something that kind of forms horizontally. So we need to remember that and create lines horizontally. So I'm creating my layered cake, not worried about waves or anything yet. Just creating those areas of color. Like so. First I'm gonna put this color here as well. And over that top of it, I'm gonna go in with my dark blue here. Okay, so in between the two, we have this lighter color, and I'm going to go with this dark blue first, but it's still lighter than the other areas of our sea. So now I'm constantly moving horizontally, like so. A bit of this in here also, we can mix it in, and just a bit of that lighter color here in the middle, just to create already that color of light there. Now we can start blending. I'm moving horizontally. We don't want our sea to look as if it's standing vertically. So being very careful here at the horizon line. And remember that the further away the sea is from us, the less we see that wave structure. So we see the waves still, but they are becoming less detailed and smaller as they get further away from us. Like so. Don't worry if the paper is shining through. You can use this to your advantage to actually create that texture of the waves, or you can cover it later on with more pastel layers as you go. So blending everything horizontally for now. And you can see those beautiful colors that are created in the sea when we mix all the colors that we chose. Okay, so here I'm gonna clean my finger good, and I'm gonna correct that line of the sky. There we go. So quite happy with that. Next, what we do is we're gonna start creating the texture. So here again, I'm going in with the same color for now, and I'm gonna go in and pass over my darker area. And you can see that the texture of the paper already creates that interesting kind of ripple effect. Then just a bit with my dark, very lightly, very, very lightly, I'm going over. Like so. And this creates that effect of distant waves. This is one thing why I chose this paper also, because I wanted to try and see how it's gonna work with this horizontal with these horizontal lines. Okay, here I went a bit into my sky. I'm gonna take it out a bit and correct the shape. Like so, and with a clean color shaper, just going to blend it in. Now, with the color shaper I'm going in, I'm creating those kind of ripple lines. So we have the texture of the paper working for us and the texture of the color shaper lines. So I'm leaving somewhere this texture. Okay, next I need to correct the sky color here. I'm going in back with my pink just to take away that color there, so the sky color is even. Okay, now we're going lower, and here we're gonna create that texture as well, but here we're gonna go in more definite marks, creating those. I'm not gonna copy the whole picture, just creating those wave shapes with my second dark, and then with this dark color I'm going in to create those shapes of the waves. And I'm trying to kind of copy something similar to what I see. The further away from the horizon it goes, the less it's going to be, the less big the waves are going to appear, and the less textured, basically. Something like so. And then here we have those more definite wave shapes. Like so. And there's another wave here. Okay, now I'm gonna go with my second dark again and add those kind of a gradient color to our wave, just to smoothen it into our sea, like so. So these are the lighter bits of our shadows on the waves. So here. Okay, and now what we can do, we can blend this slightly towards the inside of our waves. So I'm leaving that edge sharp. And I'm blending it just slightly towards the inside of the wave. Very gently. Okay. Next, we're gonna add that lighter color to our sea here where we can see it. So here in the distance we have these lighter patches showing up. The same way on this side, just touching it very gently to the paper, and it creates that ripple effect. Here we can create a more definite kind of wave pattern. So in some places it's going to be even lighter than that. Ooh, the curtains are coming. So over here as well. And then there are some areas that are, okay, these curtains, I need to do something about them. And then just tie them together. Sorry. It's crazy how much they are moving. So I'm just gonna tie them here. Okay. All done. Now they shouldn't move. Okay, so where were we? We were with the ripples on the sea. Here I'm gonna add this light blue. It's harder, the pastel, and it's gonna leave less pastel on the paper. So it's gonna be good for those, the ripple effect on the sea. Okay, so here we have these more definite marks again. Like so. You can see already that we have the sea kind of shaping up. Okay, so there are some lighter areas also in the waves. Like so. Okay, so I'm basically looking for those patterns that I see in my waves, and I'm just copying the lines. Also, another thing that I wanted to say, don't be afraid to experiment. So when you're doing these little studies like this, it's a really great way to experiment. So here I actually don't like how bright blue it is, so I'm gonna just take it back slightly with this darker blue over the top. because it's slightly too bright for my liking. Okay, next we can add even lighter color over here in some places. And also here there are some lighter accents, especially on these crests of the waves. We'll have those lighter accents. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my dark color and bring back those shapes of the waves where I lost them. That's good. Here. Okay. Just barely touching here to create that sense of waves. Okay, and also here. And now I'm gonna just slightly, very gently blend some of these waves. There's a darker one here as well. Okay, like so. I think that I'm gonna take my color shaper and I'm gonna blend some of these areas with the color shaper, so we will have a contrast in texture and smooth areas. Cleaning my hand. And with this dark, didn't like how it looked in the back there. Again, going over with the dark to create that ripple feel. And I'm gonna add a bit more of this white light color in the middle area over here. Like so. And what I want to do, I'm going to try just to add a bit of this light yellow into my water here, so it kind of reflects the color of the sky, of the sun shining. Just a bit. And also on these areas here. Okay. Some of that yellow here. So it's going to be the sunlight reflected off of our sea. Some of that lighter color. Okay. Again, I got the dark that went away. Okay. So I'm quite happy with this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my brush and this, and I'm going to take away some pastel from here. So this is where we're going to have the sun shining. And this is gonna free the space for our sunlight. And at the same time, allow us to add more layers of pastel over the top. Like so. Now I'm going in with this darker color first, this darker yellow. And pulling it out slightly to the sides. And this creates kind of that feel of the sun reflecting off the water. Okay, and also in areas here which catch the sunlight. And I'm mapping them out first with my darker yellow. So you can see how much more, how brighter that looks on the image compared to when we put it just on the paper here. So this is that yellow. So you can see how dark it looks here and how light it looks on my sea drawing. And here there are some bits that are reflecting on the water, so they become more prominent, these reflections. And they're like these little dots of reflected light here. And these we can slightly blend them out a bit. Okay, now I'm going in with my light color. And here at the back, where it touches the sky, I need to layer it very densely, let's say. And now these kind of movements, back and forth, horizontal movements, I'm going to create that appearance of the light bouncing off of the surface of the water. And here already we see these more separate kind of waves that catch the light, like so. And now I'm looking at those shapes of those reflections over here, and I'm trying not to copy them, but I'm just trying to make something similar to what I see in my reference. Adding them over the top of these light areas where we put them already in the beginning. And this creates kind of a shimmer on the water. Like so. Okay, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean my hand and slightly blend in this yellow here, only at the horizon here. Okay. Adding a bit more of this light yellow here just to create that more textury feel. Then with my very dark blue, I'm going to create those areas where the waves appear in the distance. Like so. So we can see those areas where the waves kind of are darker. Like so. Also here. Just to break up that light yellow a bit. Okay, so quite happy with this. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the white pastel, so soft white, and I'm gonna intensify that contrast. In places, especially the closer it comes to us, the more contrast it's going to have. I really like drawing sunlight. I really like how the light kind of shapes on different objects, and the sea is something amazing to draw. And this also warm yellow and blue, they are kind of contrasting opposite colors, and as we have the blue mostly dark and this warm yellow mostly light, it creates a very beautiful contrast. I'm taking my color shaper and I'm pulling out those brighter bits just a bit to create that kind of glow. And then again to the white. And there we go. Our sea is all ready. I'll show you that from slightly further away. So if you would like, we can create a cloud in the sky. We have that little line, so let's try that one out. So as I said, practice. And I'm gonna start with this pink, but gonna move it slightly like so. There's another cloud here. Don't be scared, pink is okay. Clouds can be pink. And also this area here, I need to smoothen it out a bit. Like so. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend these clouds slightly in as they are far away in the distance. Adding a bit more pink. And this is kind of gonna create that sense of distance here. First I'm blending it in, and then I'm gonna go over just a bit more intensely. Again, using my pastel on the side. I'm not doing any marks with my pastel. With a tip. So I prefer this more painterly approach, and as these are farther away in the distance, I'm gonna blend them in more. We can even create like a cloud thing happening here in the distance. And I'm gonna add some of that yellow into my clouds. Got it dirty slightly. And with the light yellow over the top. And there we go. Our sea is all ready. I hope you like this tutorial. Just gonna look at these places which need more defining. Those waves. But otherwise than that, our sketch for today is all ready, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you come up with a beautiful seascape yourselves. As usual, you can find the reference material on my Patreon page. And for now, this is it. I will see you in tomorrow's video. For now, this is it. Thank you for watching. Bye!